Well, that's like, all right, we're live, Josh. I don't know, like I said, we didn't put it out there to see if anyone's listening live, but we are back, dude.
Yes, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. What have you been up to?
Well, I have a new job. I think since the last time, I don't know if I was working at the other place the last time we were on.
No, I don't think you will.
Yeah, so I've had 2 new jobs since then.
Wow.
Now I'm a traveling salesman.
A traveling salesman?
Yes, I am.
We sold vacuums? Traveling vacuum salesman?
Yes,
Remember
yeah.
back in the day?
No, I actually love it. I love it. The last job was good. The bosses were great.
Okay.
I couldn't do it. I've never had a job where I was at a same spot 5 days a week, 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Banging my head off a wall.
Okay.
Going in every day. Now I work from home. I travel around.
Okay.
Sell chemicals.
Chemicals? What kind
I'm
of
not a
chemicals?
drug dealer.
That sounded like a more fun conversation, but you could say what you sell.
Yes. No, just all different chemicals, like big companies.
Okay.
It's like isopropyl alcohol,
Right.
sodium hydroxide. It's for companies to make products with.
Oh, okay. So you're not selling anything bad like pharmaceuticals and shit like that, right?
I can.
Really?
Yes, we have. I don't sell pharmaceuticals. That's another division of us,
Gotcha.
but we do sell to pharmaceutical companies.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right. And how is it? You know what I was talking about the other day? I was talking about doing stuff out of your box. And the reason I bring this up is because these last 2 years, like since we've been going back, I said we're gonna do the Shootin the Breeze, podcast again. I got excited. I'm like, I start going back and I'm watching our old ones and listening to our old ones, and I'm like, I could see myself gradually going crazy, dude. Like as these things were
listening to them.
No, just like gradually like losing my mind a little bit. You know what I mean? Kind of like what happened to me a little bit,
Right.
And and that stopped like that we were doing. And that was like all on me. Like I have to apologize to you and like to the people, like because we had a pretty good thing going. But Josh, I went crazy, bro. Like I really
that's what I meant. Like you listening back to them, you could hear yourself.
I could hear it. I could hear myself getting maniacal. I could see it in my eyes. Like why? Remember, like we would talk, like we would say, because you're really good on this, and I am too. It's like I think that we talk very well. Because if I'm listening to myself and I'm watching myself unfold in front of my, not only other people in my family, but like me, I'm like, I look like a fucking lunatic, dude. What am I saying right now? Not that I didn't mean what I was saying, but it's like in the way I was portraying it. You know what I mean? I watched myself lose and gain weight, because I have like 3 years of videos, almost 4 years, 3 years of videos, plus with the Murphy Dubs thing too.
I was gonna say it's been 2 years. It's hard to believe, but 23 was the last time we did it, right?
June 22nd, 2023.
23, which it doesn't seem that long ago.
No,
but it was.
Yeah,
because I was thinking of the one we did that you posted up at the camper.
Yes,
and I'm like, oh, that was at the old site because last year we were at a new site. And I was like, holy, that's been 2 years.
So that's 23. That was June 22nd, 2023. That was that. And that doesn't seem like that long ago, but it was.
It was. Yeah.
Wow. So it's just 25. But I was watching even like a little bit of that. That was fun, And then like not long after that, I did 2 Shootin the Breezes by myself, like where I just and I just like out there, I put everything out there, and like from there, I just watched and I looked back and just watched myself get a little crazy. Like I would just blow people off, like blow you off for no reason, and I'm like, but I went to therapy and shit, and I talked to therapists, and it just has a lot to do with but like just working on myself, like I'm better now. Like I just had an issue with like people actually wanting to hang out with me when I was a kid, and I think through therapy, like I would always like blow people off because it'd be like I didn't want to hang out with me anyway. But it came to light a little bit when I just started to go crazy, like during that term, and I'm like, just trying to make myself be relevant and like self-confidence and bring that shit back. And like it was a while, but now I'm back, dude. I'm like, I'm like me again. Like I kind of disappeared a little bit. Like we had problems with that,
Right.
But everything, like my life right now is fucking awesome. That's why, you would still, and I commend you because like you would reach out to me and no matter what, like even if I was a dick or even I was like, but you would still even when I said that, that you will come back, like you, like I know you a long time and like you're one of the most realist people. Like you just fucking what the fuck, dude, And that's the kind of person that men need in their lives.
Dude,
And
I'd reach out and it wasn't. I knew you weren't blowing me off. Like we'd set something up and oh no, I can't do it today, last minute, or no, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And I would still tell you like, dude, what's going on,
mm-hmm.
and just call you out. And then things, but also towards the end there is when I was getting another job. So I couldn't really come on and talk about stuff. I kind of wanted because I didn't want to not get that job because of something I might have said or might say. So that's kind of there towards the end because I started that in November of 23. But we're still trying to get. We did the one in June.
Yes.
And then we're still trying to get around together. But
Yeah.
then towards the end, when I was starting to get that other job, is when I
Yeah.
kind of went away from the.
And it's, it's like slowly fell apart. Like, and then I could see myself, I was doing the videos on my own, and like I was trying to get Eric in. I could see myself just like making fun of Eric, and just being like a maniac, and it's like,
Well, it's too fun to make fun of Eric.
Eric.
But speaking, hold on, I just got. We were talking about this right before we came on.
Yes.
Why did you put the one picture of me up on there? I look like Chris Farley with a hard nipple.
You know what it is, and this is going to sound very self-absorbed. I think when I say this to you, and don't take it that way, but when I post pictures, like I don't ever think I look bad in a picture. So I just like when I'm just pointing pictures.
Yeah, because you weigh the same as you did at 18.
I just post pictures without any thinking about what people think about.
And that was the biggest one too that you showed. I was kind of like had my chin down like this. I had my second chin. My permanently hard nipple was showing through my tight sweatshirt that normally isn't tight. Yes, I've gained some weight. And that's the first thing I saw. I was like, really, dude?
Yeah.
This is how you're going to bring people
But you
back?
lost weight since then.
Maybe 5 pounds.
You lost weight since
No.
then.
I weighed myself in this morning.
Okay, what are you weighing?
202 and a half.
202 and a half. I'm up to 161. I've been working out every day. I mean, I'm drinking protein shakes. I got to tell you about a little bit of I think I kind of figured out my stomach issues a little bit. Like,
because that was a big thing you were going through before we got off.
Yes. And I think I just recently just figured out kind of what's been going on. I got blood work done, and forgive me because I don't remember what it's called, but I have a mammalia disease or something like it's a red meat. I can't eat red meat. I have an allergy to red meat. I can't eat steak, hamburgers. Like I could eat chicken, fish, and I could eat turkey. No pork. No, it causes a severe allergy in my stomach. I get sick. I start throwing up.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So
never heard of that.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called. It's due to, and I have like a little bit of low glucose. That's like the only thing. But that caused, and I know what you're trying to say.
No, I don't know. I don't mean to laugh, but it was. You're just setting me up here.
Go ahead.
So you can have all the white meat you want.
All the white meat I want.
Yes. Kind of like when I called you and I was like, "Hey, do you want me to come in the back or the front?"
That would be the back. Yeah. I said I won't.
No, I'm sorry. You just set me up. No, I'm glad you actually got it figured out. It's been a long time.
Yeah, and I've been drinking like these athletic greens, and I don't know if it's a myth or what, but I'm feeling better, dude. I've worked out 6 out of the 7, 8 times so far this year. I'm working out almost every day. I'm getting myself back in shape. My brain's almost back in order. I never was in order, but
right. The order.
I'm feeling better. So I just want to take that time and say we were getting so good at it, and I kind of like sabotaged that shit. Like I just sabotaged everything in my life in that like year. I was like, I was watching myself just sabotage one after another. And I'm like, fuck, man.
You also had a lot going on too.
I did, yeah. And that's and that's something as a question I was going to kind of ask you too. Like I know we're talking about the the work thing, and but there was a question. I'll ask you the question now, but I can continue that. But later on, I want to kind of find out like 3 things that happened to you this year that were like awesome. You know what I mean? Like, if you could think of like 3 things that happened in the entire year that were just for you as a dad, as a husband, as just you, like that was awesome this year. Like, you don't have to answer now because we were just talking about.
That's a tough one, yeah.
Yeah, I have something written down, so we'll talk about that.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. Yes.
You text me the other day, hey, what are we going to talk about? I'm like, we're just going to talk. And then 2 days later, you text, hey, I'm just going to take some notes. What topics? What was I like? The topic is Shootin the Breeze.
Well, I know how
you cannot not take notes.
I know how you like my segues. I know.
Well, I do have to say that one of the best things is this new hat. For those of you that are listening,
that's awesome.
I have a new hat that Shannon hates.
Why?
I don't know. I think it looks good on me. I have a very abnormally large head. It's not big round wise. It's like football shaped front to back.
Okay.
So hats don't fit me right. Like I can't get a fitted hat. There's no such thing for me. If I do, when I take it off, I have a line across my forehead. I get a headache. If I have the snaps, I'm literally on the last snap, maybe having to. Oh, that's no exaggeration. I've actually looked into some of my hats. Yeah, ready? Let's
put that. Let's try that.
It's gonna be like a yarmulke.
Wow, that is something else.
Yeah.
That's a head.
That's a head.
Wow. Right.
So I was up at my son's where he works,
Yeah.
getting a new jacket for work. And as I'm trying on the jacket, I see these hats. I'm like, ooh, I like those. And she's like, you're not getting one, which means, okay, I'm going to put one on.
Absolutely. I might get two.
I went through and I found one. I'm like, I like this. She's like, you're not getting it. So she took a picture to send to my 3 buddies that we text all the time, thinking that they would back her. And the one was like, I would love to say I hate it. He goes, but I actually like it. So bought it, wear it all the time. This isn't it. I bought this one, another one.
Okay.
So we're actually together up at Sierra Lily there by the mall.
Okay.
We're shopping for some stuff and we're checking out. And the checkout lady goes, I love your hat.
That's not the best. Vindicated.
Shannon's head just went down. I'm like, oh, really? She's like, yeah. She goes, they're just all over the place. She goes, I really like them and how they look. And as I'm walking out, Shannon's like, you can put your chest back.
That's a victory right there.
Yep.
That is a small but very big victory.
Yep. So I love these hats.
That's nice.
They're great in the winter. They're great in the snow, the rain.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of my getting the hat and having people say it is one of my accomplishments.
There you go.
That they like it.
All right. There you go. So does Shannon like this because of that? Or does Shannon like it now or dislike it?
She still doesn't like it.
There you go. See, that's and she's standing by her morals.
Yes.
She's like, you know what? I didn't like it in the beginning, and I don't care who likes it. I still don't like it. That's good. I like that. That's honest marriage.
I have second one.
Go ahead.
My oldest graduated with his master's.
That's awesome.
In May.
Okay.
That's a good impact. Now he's back home.
All right.
I love my kids home.
Yes.
I love my kids home.
Yes. Say it one more time.
Yeah. Keep saying to myself, I might actually believe it. But yeah, no, he graduated. He's supposed to be studying for his LSAT.
Okay.
I say supposed to be because I don't think he's doing much of that.
Really?
He's gonna start, or he's gonna be.
That's a hard. That's a hard test.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
But yes and no. It's a hard test, but I've been talking to people, and it's not where you start law school.
Okay.
Because they were saying don't put all the weight on your grade for LSAT.
Right.
They're like, just get in, and then it's where you graduate.
Okay.
It's not where you start; it's where you end.
Okay.
So I just need him to start.
All right. Now, do you think I guess you might, what do you need? Like an argumentative personality, or you need just gotta research, what kind of aspect?
He doesn't even know what type of law he wants to do, but he's very argumentative.
Okay. Yeah.
He's always, he even knows this. Even when he's wrong, he'll continue. I think his middle name's Shannon.
There you go.
That's for the hat.
It must be the name.
See, I got to change how I sit because I look fat again in this. No matter how I sit next to you, I look fat.
No, you don't. No, you don't. But that's good. All right.
So what's one of your, because you have them written down, we'll just do one at a time.
Yes. Well, the one accomplishment that I'm pretty proud of this year for myself is I got my shit together finally. Like I said, is stop sabotaging my own stuff, start thinking for the future. Start maybe thinking about might sound selfish, but I never thought of myself. You know what I mean? So I was thinking about kind of like taking this year, taking a couple moments to work out and go on my bike rides more, just breathe a little more, just get my and I got myself back, and a little bit of therapy, of course, and friends talking to me, and I'm like, wow, pissed off is Josh, and not even it's not even I feel like I have to mend relationships.
No.
I know that there's a couple of people out there that I need to have the conversation I just had with you, because now that I know what I was going through, I know that I self-sabotaged a lot.
Yeah, but I was never pissed. I was never pissed at you.
Right. Because it's kind of what it is, Josh, we, and I felt like I kind of, what's the word? I don't know what word I'm looking for, but we talked a lot about men being there for each other, right? Now, what I came to the conclusion about myself was that I was awesome at giving advice, but I would never follow my own advice.
Right.
I could tell somebody this is great. Maybe you should do this, or not you should, but maybe you should try this. I was reading about this, but I would never take my own advice. So I would look at myself and be like, wow, I just gave these people, some good knowledge, but I didn't even take it myself. And if I started taking that myself, maybe I would have gotten better quicker, but starting to realize that stuff about myself, you know what I mean? And that's kind of and my wife and my kids just there for me, whatever, I mean? Shannon, she was just she's, we've been through our stuff, and she's just, no matter what, she's crazy. I'm crazy, but we're there for each other,
Right.
It's
the other thing is, we talked about mental health. We talked about, I'm not saying you were mentally unstable.
I was a little bit.
But it's hard to see your own, I don't want to say faults.
Yeah.
but your digression until you actually saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we spoke about it, we talked about it, and we talked about not keeping too much on yourself and talking to people and,
Yep.
and letting go of stuff. But you're saying you couldn't heed your own words
No, not at all.
because you know why? You didn't realize you had to.
No.
Because you were going to therapy, you were talking, you were doing this, but you were still outside of it, still doing the same thing.
Yeah. And that's exactly what it was.
And
And
insanity is doing the same thing over and over
yeah.
and expecting a different result.
Yeah. And it's funny and you laugh with it, but I literally think like I lost my shit there for a while. I really did. And it's, to a point where like I almost like sabotaged everything. Like, what am I gonna do? Like just because it was, and at the end of the day, talking to therapy and stuff like that, it's like I was pushing everybody away because I didn't think all these people would be, I make these people unhappy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, why do they want to be around me? It's like, and it's the people that you're closest to that you're upsetting them and you don't realize that. I'm like, wait a second, these people really do need me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm actually a pretty good dude. It's like, because people tell you that, and it's like, but if you don't, at the moment,
If you don't feel
that way, because Josh, too, like, I just, you get up in the morning, you go to work, and it's like when the kids are young, it's like, I say it's like a battle. It's like a war. It's like you're getting up in the morning. It's like 3:30. It's like, all right, I'm going to work. I'm going to kick ass, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to turn overtime. Talking to my wife 1,000 times a day because the kids are crying. Just like for say 13, 14 years, it's like a blur, until like baseball starts and stuff like that. But for the most part, 13 to 14 years, because you're always like, you could work so much, but they need this. I got to work more to get this. It's like, we got to go on this vacation this year. And it's like, I got to work more. And there were times when I was on vacation and I was going to the city, from Long Beach Island. While my family was on vacation, I was driving into the city back and forth to work because I felt like I have to work.
Right.
And I felt like if I stopped, it's a piece of shit. And I'm like, but I had to realize that I needed to stop because the feeling that like a lot of people don't get is like, I'm an overthinker. I just bought a book. It's called, Stop Overthinking. You're Killing Yourself or something. But
just pull it up here so they can see. You're an overthinker, and he bought a book. Josh, what do you want to talk about? Nothing. We're just going to shoot the breeze. All right, I'm going to take notes. No, we're not. We're just going to shoot the breeze. But I bought a book about overthinking. I'm not overthinking anymore. Do I have to say more? Do I have to show more?
There you go.
Those of you that can't see this, there's 6 pages. 6 pages of notes of us just getting back together to talk.
Yeah.
But he's not an overthinker.
No, not at all. Hence, that's why I'm reading this book.
Yes.
And and I am, because it's like, it's never enough. Like my wife tells me all the time, it's like, I never sit down in the house ever. Like they're watching a movie, I'm up.
But you never have. Since I've known you, I've never really seen you just sit and do nothing, relax.
I don't. And I needed to do that. And the only way I could have done that, Josh, is by letting myself know that it was okay.
Right.
Because anybody else could say, oh, Rich, why don't you sit down? Or Rich, I'll stop doing that. Or, but I wasn't okay with it because like, I got to get this done. I can't be sitting down. I can't be, then I finally had to come to the realization, like, I've been killing myself for like 25 years, man. And it's like, and I finally stopped and looked around. It's like, you know what? I got to take a mental break or something because, it was killing me. It was killing my relationships. And, and I finally came to that realization. And until I realized it on my own, that's when I started to feel better.
Right.
So I didn't have anybody else, everybody else was already pleased with me. It's like I had to please myself. It's like I would think nobody like was pleased with me.
Well, number one, the people that love you and the people that are close to you, you don't have to please.
Right.
Just being with them is pleasing enough.
Mm-hmm.
But you were thinking you had to please them. No, just being yourself and being around is what they want.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's going on with me.
But I do have to tell you one thing I've done recently. And I was still at the other job. I almost said it. At the other job, I started doing breathing. Have you ever heard of Wim Hof? He's like it's actually Gary Brecka from Joe Rogan.
Okay.
I watched it. I'll have to send it to you.
Okay.
He talked about 3 things to do every morning to change your life. One is go out and get the morning sun.
Mm-hmm.
2 is ground yourself, meaning shoes off, bare feet in the grass.
Okay.
There's actually scientific proof of the energy coming from the earth changes the energy inside your body.
Mm-hmm.
And the 3rd one is breathing.
Okay.
So I have and my one buddy who would love to hate my hat, but loves it. we started doing this, and we also were looking into like food and all that, like all the bread and the rice and all that has folic acid, which I shouldn't say led. I don't think there's any scientific proof to that. But ever since I started to do that in the 90s, that's when ADHD, ADD came out.
Okay.
And there's no need for it. The only reason they put it in the bread and that is for mass production.
Okay.
So if you look at over in Italy, they don't have any. So we buy Dave's Killer Bread, which has no folic acid. We buy pasta from over in Italy, has no folic acid. Now, doesn't sound good, but we had a loaf of Freihofer's Italian bread, and then I bought the Dave's Killer Bread, was buying it. Dave's Killer Bread, after 5 days, will start to, if you don't eat it, will start to get mold on it.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Within 5 to 6 days, 7 days, you're not eating it.
All right.
The Freihofer's Italian, 3 weeks, still perfectly fine.
Yeah. That's a problem, dude.
Still perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I was getting to the breathing and outside standing. I didn't care. I'd be out in my front yard. I live in a townhouse community.
Yeah.
I'd be standing there because the sun came up in front of our house. I'd get up, walk out there. I'd have my pajama pants rolled up. Shannon hated it. I'd have my pajama pants rolled up to above my knees, standing barefoot with my guinea tee on, with my eyes closed, with a thing going, breathe in, breathe out. And I would do that for like 6 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I could hear cars going by, but I was not, at first I was thinking, look at this crazy guy. But then I got into the breathing so much, I didn't care. And I don't care. I'd be out in the backyard. Yeah. Bella would be running around. Yeah. So, but I was that guy sitting in the front yard, no socks on.
So who can't, like, that's what I'm
saying. I got to the point where I don't care. Like I did it today. It was cold as shit out.
Yeah.
But I was out back. Bella was running around. I didn't take my shoes off because I did it one time when it was this cold out and I didn't have socks and I was just standing in the ground. And my feet, it almost felt that they were on fire. It was that cold.
Really?
Wim Hof says if you breathe enough,
it doesn't go away.
Nay. I was shifting my feet in the fire. I was like, oh, no, I'm done. But yeah, no, it makes a big difference.
Now, what kind of breathing is it? Because I was taught like, quick breaths in and
no, this is it's literally you go in through your nose until you can't get any more than your mouth, and then let it back out. You do 40 of those, and then you hold your breath for as long as you can.
Okay.
So you let it out, you hold it, and then when you can't hold it anymore, you take a breath in, hold it for 15 seconds, and then start over.
Okay. Because I was doing something similar to that. My therapist was telling me, and breathing definitely works. If you start to get heart starts racing, and, and you remember what happened. Like I told you, I had that anxiety attack, all this shit happened, and it's like, if I would have known these exercises, maybe I wouldn't have gotten as crazy, but that shit works, man. Like, because you take those deep, what I was told, you can just take the deep breaths in and then, out, in, out. And it's like kind of like in a timed, manner. Oh,
and it's like you can do it. There's a Wim Hof app that we use.
Yeah.
I say we because my buddy's still doing it. But it relaxes you. But when you first start doing it, you get lightheaded.
Really?
It's almost like you're hyperventilating, but you're not breathing like. Yeah. It's a slow breathe, but you almost start, but you can feel it. You're tingling in your fingers and your feet.
There's a science behind that you could hallucinate by the right breathing exercises. So it kind of be like a quick, like a psilocybin trip or hallucination. Right. If you get the right breathing techniques, people have made themselves hallucinate.
Well, this is the guy that he'll swim underwater after doing the breathing technique.
Yeah.
He's big on cold water.
Yeah.
Cold showers. Even Gary Brecker. I'll send you the thing. But my buddy does the cold showers. I try. The first, I almost passed out. Number one, I took a hot. They say cold showers are best for your body.
Yeah, I know.
Best for your body
in the morning, especially.
Yep.
Like that's another thing. I always say, oh, you should do cold plunge. I should just do it, and telling everybody to do it, and I should just do it.
So I got with all this, watching this. There's also like the red light.
Okay. Let me see something.
Ultraviolet light and all that.
Right.
Red light you use for your skin and everything. It's good. You can have it in your eyes. It helps your eyes and all that. And then cold plunge. I was looking also into the saunas. I told you I got a sauna for Christmas. The steam sauna for the basement. Mm-hmm. Well, my buddy got one after him and I were talking about all this. He got one. And Shannon told me, I'm like, I've been looking at this. I told him about it. I wanted, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, it was one I had on my phone for the longest time. I'm like, I'm not spending the money on
Yeah.
It's so she got it for me for Christmas.
Nice.
And Rich, when I tell you, I was like a 10-year-old, not even 10, like a 6-year-old kid that got his favorite toy. I went downstairs and started to put it together. And she's like, Josh, we have so much shit to do. You are not putting that together. I'm like, but Shan, you got it. She's like, you can put it together next week because her cousins came over from London.
Oh boy. Okay.
I'm like, babe, no, I am not waiting until I was seriously like a little kid. She's like, are you kidding me right now?
1987. It's like Atari 2600.
Yep. I'm like, I'm putting this together. Well, I put it together. I love it. It's just like, but I grew up wrestling, so we did saunas all the time to lose weight.
Right.
But now it's I like to lose weight in it now. Okay. But it's more of just that I feel so much better. My back feels better. My skin's better now because I have the winter kills me. I hate it. Okay. Dry skin, dry forehead, all that. You know, like I said, big head, big forehead. So you don't have to say it. I know. But the sauna's great. But her cousin was doing a sauna. He's the one that he does Ironman.
Okay.
He does all the running. He's done 13 in the past 2 years.
Full Ironman triathlons?
Oh, yeah. He just qualified to go to Hawaii.
Wow.
Which is like
that's the pinnacle.
The echelon of it.
Yeah.
But only so many people get in. He had to do 13 by a certain date. He did. But now he has to wait to see if he gets the invite. If he doesn't get the invite for 2025, he'll get it for 2026.
Oh, okay.
But he did it. And he was like, he kept this thing. He goes, my heart rate was at 160. He goes, I have to run for about an hour for my heart rate to get to 160. He goes, my heart rate started to get at 160 at 15 minutes into the sauna.
Wow.
He goes, so this kind of gets me used to like the humidity areas where he goes to and all that.
Right.
But then he was going out to the snow and doing like snow angels. So his wife got him a cold plunge.
Oh, what does he think of it?
He loves it, but the most he's done, I think, is 6 minutes.
Really? That's hard. Dude.
Yeah. He said, he goes, the sauna was hard. He goes, this is worse. He goes, the sauna, I could trick myself and do mental games and stay in longer. The cold plunge.
Yeah, because you're just going, it's not gradual.
No, that's straight up.
Like bang, your body temperature just goes boom right down, you know? And they say it's like that. They say that is the best thing for you because you shock your body. Like, you know, and that's even like how a lot of people are working out, like, you know, like these days. Like when I would work out, like when I was younger, like, you know, everybody was like, oh, I'm doing chest today or I'm doing tris today. Like I was always, somebody told me this a long time ago that it was don't set days for certain muscles. You got to shock your muscles. Like, you know, if your muscles think you're going to do biceps on Tuesday and you shock them, like, oh, wait a second, we got, you know, so it's kind of like in that sense, like, you know, you just completely shock your body and your muscles just like, oh, what do we do? We're so cold. And it's like, it just wakes up everything. Your endorphins go through the roof.
The other good thing about it,
your body goes into a mode where you have to protect itself too.
I was just going to say, all the blood leaves your extremities and goes to protect your core.
Yeah. Yep.
So then that's your organs are getting the better blood, and here you go, and then it flushes it back out. It's almost like a body flush.
Yeah. Because you know what's funny? I was my buddy, he's into all this like survivalist stuff, and we were talking one time, and he said that if you're ever stuck in the snow, he's like, bury yourself in a layer of snow because he says the heat from your body will create some kind of barrier from your skin to the snow, and it'll keep you warm. Believe it or not. Like I never understood that concept. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. Like, kind of similar, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So that's crazy. I do want to get a cold plunge. Like the boys want to get it. The boys too want to get it, but they'd be a little more reluctant to try it. I would, if I got it, and Shannon never got this for me, I would have to do it like the next day because she's like, I bought this for you and you're not going to do it. So I would have to, if I want it, she's probably going to get it if I want it, but I have to do it.
It's very good for you, but it's hard. Start with the showers. I tried it.
All right.
They've not been hearing us?
No, they've been hearing us.
That's all right. We're just talking anyhow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's good. It's okay.
But I had
I hope so.
The shower. I just turned all the hot off after I was done.
Okay.
But I was standing facing away from the shower head, and it was hitting me in the back of the neck.
Yeah.
And I could not catch my breath.
Yeah, I know. I know.
But the next time I did it, I just let it hit my chest or hit my back.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun, but I could actually breathe.
Yeah.
But when it's hitting your head, I think your brain, it's almost like it's hitting your brain. And it was like, I could not breathe. And I was like, even when I turned it off, I was still in the shower going.
It's like that whole shocking of your body. Like it's, you know what's funny? It's like you bring up a point that I was thinking about the other day because I was watching some show. irrelevant. Like some show that was out in like the 70s, I forgot what it was. But listen to us talking about how we're gonna like trying to prolong our lives, cold plunges and saunas and exercising and working out, drinking protein shakes. If you look at like shows from like the 70s and like some guy with like wacky old man turns around and says he's like 55 years old. Like the whole age of like think about, I don't know if you think about my dad, think about your dad. Think about what my dad looked like when he was my age. It's like I look so much like young. I think we're a lot more conscious. But men looked old back then.
They did. Well, my dad, he's 5'5". He always looks young,
right?
Because he does. He looks like he's short. He's little, but there's memes now. If you look like, and it's not Carol O'Connor. One of the guys on a TV show was only 55, but he had gray hair,
right?
And he looked like he was 70. And you look at those pictures from back then, just like when we were growing up, 50 years old to me was someone with gray hair.
Yeah.
Was an old man.
Yes.
Now that I'm a year away from 50.
Yeah.
Not yet. A year and a month away from 50. Close.
You're close.
It's not, yes, I can see my hands, which kills me. My hands look old. Like I'm getting the wrinkles in my hands. Even my wife, I love her to death. I was like, you have age spots on your hands. Thanks, babe. Does this make me look fat? No, not at all. But like I see it, but I'm still not what I thought 50 would be.
Yeah, because me too. Like I definitely had a different concept of what 50 would be. Like, like I lost my dad this year, and even at his age, like I saw him, like he was 75. It's like he just looked old, young. He was too young to look old, and I think that was prevalent back in the day because I don't think men took care of themselves. Like I guess we tried to take care of ourselves. Yes, we're animals and we eat, we drink, and we do. But there's a point in time where most men will get up and be like, "Whoa, I gotta do something," and then we'll pack it on later. But but the thing is, like you look at something, wow, I can't continue. So I gotta do some running, or I could get back to riding my bike or working out. So I think we're more self-conscious about not even just the way we look. I think we're more healthy because I think we're in a different position as parents too. Because our kids, we're always with them. We want to be around longer for our kids.
And that I was just gonna say it's because of the kids.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to make myself look better for other people.
No, I mean,
I'm losing weight because I don't like how I look.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I'm like people are going, oh, he looks fat. Some people have.
Okay, not fat,
but I'm doing it for myself. You posted the picture, which made me realize I was fat. I have to walk around with my tongue to the top of my mouth so I lose the chin.
You'll be fine, Josh.
But we have the gym downstairs, we have the treadmill, and it's the same for me. You said you started working out. Every Monday I'm going to work out.
Yeah.
Monday I'm going to work out.
Yeah.
I'm going to work out, get in the sauna. I've gotten in the sauna.
Okay.
I have to blow the dust off the universal machine, blow the dust off the dumbbells. Yeah. I was on the treadmill, but I just need to, once you start, it's good. It's just getting started, which is
like I was telling Aiden this earlier. Like I said, I'm starting to take the protein, and I haven't taken protein on a daily basis in a while. Like the first day, I was a little like, oh my God, a little tired. Second day, I was a little tired, but I was telling him like last night when I was working out, I felt so strong last night. Like I worked out twice as long as I worked out the night before, to a point where I want to be, but it was hard, to get that initial get going because I haven't lifted in a while either.
And you just said what I think my biggest fear is, that soreness.
Yeah, and it wasn't so sore. It was kind of just, I guess like tired or like,
See, I did this basement beast a couple years ago, which was a great workout just with like the rubber bands.
Right.
Rich, I am not exaggerating when I tell you I couldn't sit. I was almost crying. My leg, the first day was legs.
Right.
The second day, I couldn't even sit down on the toilet. My legs would just give out. I'd plop. My legs hurt so bad that I was like in pain. They weren't sore. I was in pain. And I'm like, I'm old.
Yeah.
But there's people older that look great. I can do it. I'm just afraid to
you know what it is, Josh, too, is like you just said something that this is one thing that I do follow. Like, I always tell everybody, stretch. Older you get, stretch. Now I stretch every day, morning and night. I don't get sore like that. Even like with working out, my muscles just don't get sore because, Josh, I stretch morning, not when I'm just standing around. I can't sit still. I'm stretching something out. I'm touching my toes. Like I could put my hands flat on the ground. Flat on the ground.
Good for you. No, no, that's good. But when I stretch, when I'm sore, and then once the soreness goes away, I stopped stretching.
That's what I tell my kids all the time. It's like, that's the key. Like, and I was even reading, it's like, all this, like, what do you think all this, like this Pilates and like yoga, that's all based on stretching.
Well, that Basement Beast every Friday is it's a yoga. And I tell you what, I was sweating just doing the yoga. And that's just getting yourself into positions.
Yeah.
And it's really stretching.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, when we get to our age too, when we start working out, because you know what, we're over the fact that we're not benching 225. You know what I mean? It's like, but we lift as much as we can. And it's like, it's like, I'm not breaking any records, but the fact is, like, I'll stand there with dumbbells, I'll do 15 reps, and like I'll have 30-pound dumbbells and I'll do 15 reps. Or I'll have 35-pound dumbbells and I'll do 12 reps. You know what I mean? So, or I'll bench, 125. I'll put it up, it's like,
we're not going there to impress people.
I'm not breaking records right now. I want to be in shape, and I want to be able to chase around, eventually grandchildren hopefully one day. And I'm still chasing around these maniacs too. So it's like, and that's where I want to be. It's like, you sit there, and it's like, I'm thinking about, people like, when they retire, and the people like when I do cash it in and I'm retired, like, I'm not going to retire to a couch. Like, I want to do shit. You know what I mean? And my wife's the same way. Like, my wife just lost 45 pounds, dude.
I was going to say, when I didn't want to, it's kind of awkward when you see someone, a woman.
Yeah.
And you say, "Oh, have you lost weight?"
Yeah.
Because in a way, as a guy, I know Shannon would never take offense to me saying it. I saw her, like, she looks good.
Yes.
But if I say that, to me, I'm thinking, she might think I'm saying she didn't look good.
No. She's
not now, but before.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't look good before?
Yeah.
Or, oh, was I heavy before?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it's awkward. But
Shannon.
I know. But I was like, wow, yeah.
Yeah. She lost 45 pounds, man. And she's been working at it too. So, and she's like, she's like in a good place right now with herself. Like, and like, I got to stay in shape. My kids, go to the gym all the time. So it's like, we're not going to be those guys that we saw in those 70s and 80s sitcoms, like that.
So now I know what you're doing.
But
you're just trying to keep up with your wife.
She's been trying to keep up with me. But yeah, it's very, it's very important. And I just noticed that, and it just hit me recently, but just like watching these sitcoms, I'm like, how old did that guy say he was?
Yeah.
I was like, that's what the image of a 50-year-old man was back in the day.
Just think about it. I had a doctor that smoked while he was giving me as I was in seeing him.
Yeah. And that's also true. Like, how many, think about like people that smoked, how much it aged them, their insides, and their faces. And, it's like, it just ages you, I never smoked cigarettes in my life, ever. I'll weed, yeah, of course. But come on. Everybody listening right now know when they do eventually listen.
That's why I looked at you.
They eventually do listen. They're looking at me. They know my, I don't drink.
No.
I haven't had a drink in 2.5 years, Josh.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I had one drink, like, I think it was a Labor Day weekend, I think last year. But
right. But
I just stopped drinking.
I haven't, it's not going to sound like a lot. I haven't had anything since New Year's.
That's
what I said. Once the New Year comes, I'm going to do a dry January, see how that goes. And what's scary, Rich, is if I open up right now and go into Facebook, I haven't said I'm going sober, I'm not going to drink. I haven't, like, I've spoken to Shannon about, I'm not going to drink during the month of January. I'm going to try not to and all that. My Facebook ads have been, because I'm a bourbon drinker. I love bourbon.
Okay.
Have been alcohol-free bourbon.
Yeah. I believe it.
I'm like, I haven't looked it up.
Yep.
I haven't spoken. Oh, maybe I should look into getting alcohol-free bourbon, or just bourbon with no alcohol, or even anything. Spoken to anyone about going dry. But my Facebook feed is now. It was all about the freaking steam saunas.
Right. Yeah.
Now that I got one, it doesn't show up.
I think that's so crazy. That's just like, I don't know. That's so crazy to me that, like, just these little things right here. We used to, like, imagine, like, it's only 20 years ago. We were like, can you imagine if you could really see somebody like the Jetsons? But it's not that long ago. And these little things hold so much, like our lives are on here right now.
Everything.
In this little thing. And it's listening. And it really is. Because I sometimes I have conversations I wouldn't normally have. And then you look down and, like, an hour later, it's like you got ads for it.
Yep.
Instagram's the worst for that. So, they are collecting our information. And they are collecting it for reasons that, why the reasons are. They want to try and sell shit.
Well,
but they don't care what I'm doing right now.
Right now,
I could care less. They're going to probably show it me.
I'm not the person they're trying to get the information from.
No, absolutely not. There's a lot of bigger fish to fry out there right now.
So they can hear whatever it wants to hear us say or me say.
Yes. But I think, but But the point I'm trying to make is I think that the phone and everybody's like, oh, they're listening to us. They're listening to us because they want to sell us stuff.
Yes.
They're not listening to us because they want to arrest us.
Or they're not listening to us to try to get my bank. People are trying to get my bank account, but guess what?
Yeah.
Get my bank.
Yeah. You know what's funny?
You might get a tank of gas.
You know what's funny? My wife, she's smart. She's tough. But there are times when she will say, honey, can you pay for a second? It's like, I don't know, this deal here, like, you know, to the Bahamas. He just wants your mother's maiden name. What was your mother's maiden name again? I was like, are you serious? Are you really serious right now that you're listening to some guy with a Nigerian accent ask for my mother's maiden name? She's like, well, this deal sounds so good. I'm like, you're a smart woman.
It sounds too good. It's not.
My mother's maiden name. She's been trying to break into our account. She's like, what? But she'll fall for that every once in a while. And it's like, every time Shannon's like, everything is 99% dab. But when she hears a good deal, it's like, wait a second.
That Jack did that the other day, my oldest. He was talking about something. What was it? It might have been the car. But someone called him and it wasn't for like a warranty. He knows that.
Okay.
But it was something else. And he goes in there and I went, dude, what did you tell them? He's like, nothing. What? I'm like, no, seriously. Because he's the one that wants to be. I'm like, he's like, no, Dad, this was seriously, here's the number. It was something for like taking the car in for something. He's like, but they need to know the VIN. And I was like, he goes, I know not to give the information. He is the book smart kid.
Yeah.
But street smart, no.
Gotcha. That's kind of like, you know, my kids have a little bit of street smarts in them too. Because, you know, it's because I'm so skeptical about shit like that. Like they know, like if they get these phone calls or if someone tries to sell them something, like I drill it into them all the time. So I'm so worried, like my innocent young man, I gotta get like swindled by somebody.
And he was getting mad. I'm like, dude, what did you? I didn't tell him anything. I know. We're in the kitchen, like yelling. She's like, what are you two arguing about? I'm like, someone called Jack. I didn't tell him anything.
We gotta protect him for that shit. You know, even if maybe
when do you stop? He's 22.
Over skeptical, maybe sometimes, but we gotta instill that. I don't know. It's never gonna stop, Josh. You know, even when they're gone, even though we're out of the house, I think we're never gonna stop worrying about them. You know, I mean, we're never gonna come to a point where, listen, me and you are good dads. We love our kids. There is never in a point in our lives where our kids are maybe they're in their 50s and we're older, and like there's never gonna be a point where we don't go to bed and think, oh, what Aiden and Jack are doing right now. It's gonna be every day for the rest of our lives because we're good dads. You know what I mean? And that's our lives. Like, you know, people, you know, sometimes people like when like me and you and like people that I like to surround myself with, and then you get other guys like, you know, it's like, yeah, you gotta have your own time and this, that, you know, things. Yeah, I have my own time, but my happy time is with them.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of
that is our happy time.
That doesn't like, because you'll talk to like a young kid that doesn't have any kids yet, and you'll come in and he'll hear you talking to your partner every day about, yeah, my wife's this, like we were fighting, it's like the kids are driving me crazy, blah blah blah. But then he'll hear me saying that's the greatest thing in the world. Because you just said that this is like a crazy life. I love this crazy lifestyle, dude. Like I wouldn't want anything more. It's like because it's like you're directly affecting the lives of these two people. Like you got boys. I wouldn't know what to do with girls. Like if I was raising girls, but boys, it's like you're raising just young men.
I am so thankful.
Yeah,
I don't have girls. It's a different monster.
Yeah,
different monster.
And it's, you know, social media, of course. You know, and you wish that
I think we spoke about it before that it's a double standard.
Oh wow!
When it comes to boys and girls,
100%.
And me being a father, me knowing how I was growing up, if I had a girl, she wouldn't have left the house. I know boys.
Yeah. But it's worse now.
Oh, I know. I know. But the thing is, you don't even have to leave the house, and the photos and the apps and
and you know what? Again, thinking about my own stuff is like, you know, what's the biggest thing you want to instill in, like, you know, boys, whatever, you know, everything else will come, but at this age, you want them to just know that none of this matters. Like, if somebody says something to you, and it doesn't matter what they say, just don't give a shit what people think about you, and your life will be fine.
Yeah.
As long
that's
as
a lot easier said than done.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody knows it. I didn't know that.
No.
Like I was just telling the kids the other day, like I got picked on when I was a kid, you know, and I tell you guys these stories all the time. Well, yeah, I still get picked on, but now the difference is I don't give a shit. That's a difference now. But you know, it's through years and years. But when I was younger, like Josh, there were times like, you know, people would I would like, you know, run away from a fight, like, you know, like, well, I would get picked on, or nothing crazy, like I wasn't bullied or anything, but I would never stick up to myself. And I always tell the story to everybody that it was a weird feeling because I don't remember when it was, but it was just a snap. And I was like, what the hell's going on? And I just became somebody, I became me,
Right.
who was there. But I was like, what's going on here? Why am I letting this get to me so much? Why do I care if this guy's making fun of me? Like, so like, then it just all of a sudden my whole mindset about that switched. And I was like, I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about me. It may have got me in a little bit of trouble, but
Right.
I grew into that to where I am now. And having the two boys, it's like, I wish I could tell them that none of that's going to matter when you're older, or don't worry
Just
about it. Do your own
yeah.
thing.
Well, just like the first breakup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to tell them it's not the end of the world. To them, it is. And just remember, for you, it was.
Yeah. And I don't know about you, but like when you see them and they're hurting, like it hurts. It
And
hurts,
you can't
yeah,
help it.
and it's so amazing, like how it's like like a surreal feeling, like feel it, and
Because you're also putting yourself back into
Yeah.
to what they're going through. You went through it, and
Yeah.
you can feel, and you know that pain, and you know the hurt.
I know.
But you also know the good part is you get over it.
And what comes after that,
Yeah.
and people realize this guy's pretty fucking cool, and
Yeah.
or whatever it is, and yeah, you're right, but you have to go through that.
It makes you who you are.
100%, you have to go through that because, and then I think where my maybe overprotective of their feeling, I'm not overprotective, but thinking about it too much is because I know how much it did hurt, but I know I handled it.
Right.
I don't know how they're going to handle that kind of stuff. And I know it's going to be fine, of course, but I don't know at the same time, so I know how I did. Like, it's funny, like when you see the two kids, like the way Jack works through issues, like, or works through things, not issues, just like life in general, the way he works, it's what I was like and how I am today. And my wife and Aiden can't understand that because the way Aiden kind of operates, Aiden operates in a more, let's maybe say, organized way, or a more calculated way. Methodical. Aiden's more like Shannon. Shannon's very methodical. Aiden's very methodical.
Except for if they're calling for a trip.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, but they're like, why? Well, so when me and Jack are like, it's just going to happen. And sometimes that clashes a little bit because we know how we handle certain situations. Like I know Jack's good under pressure. Like he'll say, all right. But when he's got to do it, bang, he's going to do it. He's going to the Culinary Institute of America on, I mean, he's going to get it done. Whereas Aiden's going to be like, all right, Mom, or I got to think about this. I got to overthink
See,
this.
Aiden is the older ones.
Yeah.
Jack and Aiden are the same way. Same as Shannon and Shannon. And then your Jack and my Maddie are kind of the same way.
Yes.
Roll with it. It's kind of, things happen. We'll deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is with Jack, though, like Jack does have a little bit of that in him too. Like, and I see it, like, he does get overwhelmed sometimes, like when he's like, he'll promise to bake 26 pies for everybody in school for Thanksgiving. Sounds, I do the same thing because I know it's like, oh, it's a great idea, whatever, I'll be there, or I'll do this. But the day, it's like, holy shit, 26 pies. It's like, all of a sudden now he's like, and he'll get it done, but it's like the super stressful part about it.
I gave you that look because you were like that with the podcast back in the day.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll do one with Eric, then I'll do one here, and then we'll get this, and we'll go to Renegades, and we'll have
all over the place, dude. And that's part of like, me having my my attention deficit
because
disorder.
Then I was also like, all right, well, what do we have to be? What are we doing? You're like, we'll just do it.
Let's go.
No, dude, that's
that's not how it works. That's how life works, right? Just go.
Who do we have to talk to? I don't know. We'll just go and show up with the stuff. It'll be great. You're a very good hype man, but I was the guy like, dude, we need to know. We got this.
Man. What's up? What's going on? We're here.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you knew all the logistics and you know how to rein that stuff back because listen, at the end of the day, like I was trying to do a whole I was trying to get the whole thing what is it?
But I do know now, looking back, like you were out from the Ironworkers.
Yeah.
You were in the mindset that this was going to be your life.
Yeah.
Which, if you think about it, is a little crazy.
Yes. And you know what happened? And I know what happened. I lost purpose.
You were trying to find purpose.
I lost my purpose because my purpose always was, Josh, I'll get up. We're gonna put this out and say,
dude, you have a power strip.
Yeah, that's audio too. But what? Sorry.
You're good.
When you do live stuff, where was I going with this? Catch me up. Where were we going with this?
You were walking over there.
Yeah. See, that's why he's
you
good.
you lost purpose. We were just saying you lost purpose.
Okay. Now, like I said to you, it's part of feeling like when you're in the game. It's like, my purpose was to get up and just be a machine. And
Which you spoke about earlier. Get up, go to work, come back.
That was my purpose. And then when my purpose got it stopped. And I was for a little while I was okay, but it wasn't long. I masked it a lot, but it's like my purpose is gone. So that's why I would get up and just try and do 1,000 things just to kind of like find another purpose. But my purpose was still right there. I just kind of like, I just, again, when I say I went a little crazy, I think I did. And that's what it was. I lost my purpose. And sometimes for men, I think like we have our own way of thinking of what our purpose is. Like your purpose is different than mine.
Right.
But sometimes our purpose is skewed because we're doing the same thing all the time. But you have other purposes in life, of course. But when you think that that's the only thing that you do well and that's gone, it's kind of hard to like kind of recover from that.
Which we were both kind of going through it.
Yeah.
Like you were out, I was out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all men have the same type of purpose, that we think we have to be the rock, the go out, work for the family, even though both parents are most of the time both working, but we think, all right, we have to be the earner.
Yeah.
And again, call me chauvinistic. That's just how you grew up. Like you are the earner. You go out, you have to do it no matter what. If the kid's sick, the wife can stay home, but you have to go to work.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had the luxury of, not unfortunately, fortunately, I had the luxury of I worked 2 days a week. So I was home a lot.
Yeah.
I could be there. My wife and I kind of split that. But I lost my purpose also during that time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like you have to learn all over when you're not going to work. You're like, you kind of feel like, what am I going to do?
I feel the bum.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you shouldn't, but I don't know about you, but the hardest when you're not fulfilling your purpose, which mine was working, getting up and being in the city and building New York City, like I would always say. And then when that stopped, the hardest times when you feel kind of like shitty is kind of like from 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 noon. And you realize like, wow, like I haven't been at work. I mean, it gets better towards the end of the day. My whole thing was like that. You're up in the morning, everybody's sleeping. Like wow, this is awesome. I get my morning.
Well, see, I wasn't. Oh, you mean when you were working, when you weren't working?
No, when I'm not working.
Oh, when I wasn't working, I was sleeping.
See, I was up,
and I'd be up all night
every day. See, I was a morning.
You've always been a morning person. I'm not.
Yeah, and I cashed in on that because I was just like, wow, this is great.
You get so much more done.
Yeah, but then by like 10 o'clock, I'm looking around. I'm like, shit, like my purpose right now is supposed to be at work. And I'm not. And I'm looking around. It's like the school buses are going by, and like I'm home. Yeah. And I'm like, wow. It took me a little while to get over that, but then I got over it, and I knew like, and like I said, like my mindset was like, I had to go out and get something else. So I was, anything like, and by doing that, I was creating a lot of craziness in my head too, is because I couldn't just go out and just get something because I'm an iron worker. Like, what am I doing with myself? But there was about 5 or 6 months there where it was bad, like where my mind was crazy. And even we didn't talk that much with it during, like, I lost contact with a lot of, some people.
Which is funny because you actually said during a couple of the podcasts that you do that.
Yeah, I do. And like when I was a kid, I'd have, like when I was young in my 20s, like I'd have 4 different friend groups. Yeah. And by the time I got back to the friend group, they're like, yo, where have you been? I was like, I don't know. I was over here, but we were doing this, but I didn't think I was being missed. You know what I mean?
That question.
Yeah.
You don't have to answer?
I'll answer anything.
I don't know if you've ever asked. Have you ever been diagnosed with like ADD or ADHD?
Yes. I'm riddled with it, dude.
Have you said that before?
Huh? Yeah. What do you mean?
I don't remember. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, no. I talked about it a lot. Yeah, I'm like I have I take medicine for it. I have a prescription. I take 10 milligrams of Adderall, and it's prescribed, and it works because what it does is it compartmentalizes everything for me. Because
we actually did talk about it. I remember.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because you know what it is, Josh? The only way I can explain it to you, because you, unfortunately, and it's going to sound weird, like I don't know like how you stay so organized. And to me, it's like I don't know how he does it. My wife is super duper organized, And that's where we clash a little bit because she can't understand how unorganized I am. And
But
it's,
you can't understand how
yeah,
organized she is.
but I want to be that way. But to attain that is hard because there's just so much mayhem going on in my brain because I want to attain that. But there's 7 things in front of me. What am I going to attack first? So in these videos that you see, they're funny,
No,
but
I'm
they're
not.
true.
Yeah.
Dude, I watched a video the other day where some guy walked in. He's like, what it's like at 5 a.m. in my house in the morning. Guy comes out in his robe, opens up every cabinet, leaves, comes back in, pours his coffee, opens up every drawer for a spoon, sits there, drinks his coffee, gets up, he gets in every single cabinet is still open in the kitchen. That's me. I don't finish stuff. Like,
I saw something which I don't know. Maybe you can say yes. That's a guy talking about what like ADHD is and talking to someone.
Mhm.
He goes, someone without ADHD can talk about their vacation that they went to the ocean, they were with their family, and they did this and that and this. He goes, a person with ADD or ADHD will start talking about the ocean, and then they will think about the seashell that they saw, and then they will think about the seashell that then they took over to the restaurant, and the restaurant had this food.
Yeah.
Oh, and then when I was younger, they're like,
yeah.
you can say focus, but ADHD, when you talk, you have other things going on that will trigger different thoughts and different.
See, and that's, you know what it is? I realized that about myself a long time ago because that's why I don't know if you notice, if I'm ever doing something like this, if I remember talking to somebody, if I'm having a conversation, I'll write little notes down, just like stupid little words. And if I look down at the word, I'll remember to stay focused. And we're talking about this right now. Don't go off on a tangent. That's something that I don't do. That's because I just don't. I don't have that part of the ADHD in me because I kind of I'm an over talker. Not an over talker, but I'm somebody that if I have something to say, I won't be rude. I'm not saying I'll be rude, but I'm antsy inside. Like I gotta get something to say, and I won't ever be rude. But it's like I can't wait to say what I have to say, and then I step back, and then because there is all this stuff going on in my head because I got to get it all out. But my way is I get too antsy, and I just have to be like, okay, I want to say this because I have this stuff I want to say, and then there's a backlog. And the backlog becomes, holy shit, I forgot what I was talking about. With what the doctor explained to me, what these NSAIDs, I guess they're called. They kind of like, you have stuff here in your brain, you have thoughts, and it kind of just like makes it easier to filter like what's more important.
Right.
Like you're gonna put it, it's like kind of like a strainer. Like, you throw your thoughts in and the important ones come out first, and then they're still there because your brain is like, right, this is all right. So that's how it helped me because I'd go in the backyard, dude. There'd be the lawnmower, there'd be the hedge clippers, there'd be like I'd be cleaning the pool, and I'm like, the lawn's half mowed, the tree looks like shit, and I'm cleaning the pool right now. I mean, so just go for a swim, and then nothing gets done.
Yeah.
So I'm learning to more deal with that aspect of it, and I'm realizing too that it's a lot harder to be friends with somebody that's like me than to be friends, like because there are times when like it's hard to be friends with somebody like me, and I say that to you all the time. And it's true, and it's not that I'll ever wonder why that person's not friends with me. I'll know why, and it's not that you wouldn't be friends with me. It's like you just had enough of my craziness. Well, not you specifically. It's like
I know what you're saying.
but then I'm like, and then that's why some relationships stop with me because the person just had enough of me anyway. I'll just go fucking talk to somebody else. You know what I mean? It's like, but in my own mind, like I have a whole mindset of people in my life that like, that have done so much for me, like you being one of them. And it's like, just people that, those are people in my head that are like, I can't let this ADHD thing let these friendships go.
But the thing is,
I can't.
The real friends wouldn't let that.
Yes, but I don't know that.
Right. All right.
I don't know. I just like, think like, and I just like, fuck them over too many times. It's like, all right, maybe I'll have another 6-month relationship with somebody who's going to hate me after 6 months, and that's kind of how I went through life when I was younger too. Like, boom, 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 friendship to friendship. It's like not even girlfriends. It's not even like I was saying. I'm not even talking about like player aspects of it. I'm not just like talking about. I'm just talking about just dating a girl and just being, just ghosting somebody and then wondering why they're mad at me.
It's like, funny because back when you were dating that girl, you didn't know what ghosting meant.
No, ghosting now is what I was doing back in the 90s. And then I guess I started a trend. But that's, and again, that's with me right now. I'm really getting that stuff, that part of me in order. I'm still a little crazy, like, just the way I'm talking now. This is who I am, but it's a more like controlled version of what I was turned into.
Right.
Because this is who I've been my whole life. But I turned into something that was a little more accentuated of what I should have been. I didn't have control of it. Over the years, I had control. Like I have control of what I was doing. I was controlling my own thoughts, but I was out of control for a while, and I didn't know how to think, and that just caused so much shit. Because at the end of the day, I just had to please my family, which is what I want to do, and I was pleasing them, but I didn't think I was.
Right.
So that's
But I also know with you, like the whole, this is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna take this off. I also remember talking to you being like, trying to not say this isn't what we're doing.
Mhm.
Like I enjoyed this and all that, but like you were like this was gonna be your next job.
I know.
Like the podcast,
I know.
I'm done with everything else. And I
Yep.
was kind of like, well, you still, what about the iron workers? Like,
Yep.
I could see in your, you were,
Yeah, because you know what?
This was-
That was my super focus at the moment,
yeah,
and that's a problem
that's
too.
when you didn't have a purpose, and this was your purpose.
And you know what though? If you know what, it could be something as little as that, or it could be as little as something rearranging downstairs. Looks like shit down there. I'm gonna occupy. That's my purpose right now. I'm gonna go downstairs. Look what I just did. Then it's like, all right, what's next? But you're right though, because that was my hyper focus at the moment. And I'm like, at the end of the day, it's unrealistic, completely unrealistic. But
at the end, it was
in my own head, I'm like, it's not unrealistic, but it is unrealistic at the moment. But that's how my mind works. And like I don't understand how your mind works because I'm not that.
Yes.
My brain works different. And people do understand. People understand it. People don't. Shannon, what do you call it? She struggled with it for a long time. Like she didn't understand it, but like at one point, she was like, I think her sister said something to her. Was like, you ever read this book about being married to somebody with attention deficit disorder? And she didn't read the book, but she would read bullet points. She's like, God, this is my husband.
Yeah.
It's like I've been mad. I get mad at him, and we yell and we fight, but he can't
But
help
it's nothing. I was just gonna say, it's nothing you can control.
Yeah, it's like he's not like she would think that I would do things like I would
Just to
forget
do it.
on purpose.
Yeah.
Like she would think that did you bring my water? Like, oh, shit. It's like I just asked you to bring my water
Yeah.
in. And she'd get mad at me, but like I legitimately then I go into cycles where I feel bad because why am I just forgetting these things? Why am I not paying attention? And then it just blows up into like, oh, well, always me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like I should just remember to grab a fucking water.
Yeah.
Everything would have been solved.
But it's not that simple for you.
No, it's not. It really isn't. But, I don't know if it's a fake like mental illness or some people say it's fake. Maybe it's just like maybe it's called something else, or maybe we labeled it as something. But all I know is my brain kind of works differently. Like not even differently, just differently.
You can't even really say with like the medicine helping if it makes you. I don't want to say it. This sounds mean, but normal.
Yeah,
because you don't know what normal.
I don't know. No, you could say it, Josh. It's true. I don't know what
It's
normal
not that
is.
you're not normal, but are you closer to how I think? You don't know because you've never thought that way.
Right. What I do know is I'm not. These thoughts are more compartmentalized.
Right.
And I'm like that's a feeling of for me. You know what I mean? Whereas I'm not thinking like you, but I'm not thinking like that.
Right.
Where everything's like a deep breath, and I'm like, this feels good. And as opposed where again, I'm not going to go in there and I'm just not going to be as organized as my wife, but I am in a state of all right, let's take this one at a time, and I'm still going to be who I am. But like and I even talked about that when we did that. I even talked about that, talking about being that guy that goes into that room. Like, how I am. Like, I can walk, I can talk to anybody. It's like, and I even feel sometimes, even like, when in other situations, like, I feel like somebody has said to me one time is your personality is if you walk into a room with a bunch of guys that are on their cell phones and you walk into the room, those guys are going to want to talk to you.
Yeah, they're going
to be off their cell phone. They're going to want to talk because you're going to say something, you're going to make fun of somebody's shoes.
Right.
Or you're going to or you're going to, not maliciously, but like,
yeah, just start a conversation.
Start a conversation. So it's like, bro, you guys all on your phones? What's going on in here? But like, and you're that kind of, and you had that personality. And the guy did say this to me a long time. He goes, never lose that, ever lose that, because that's a superpower.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand what he meant, but I just, it's not that I don't enjoy uncomfortable silence. I just feel that there should be some kind of communication going on.
I'm the same way as you, though.
Yeah.
That's why I like doing what I'm doing right now. I have no shame or no qualm to go, in somewhere where I don't know people and just start talking. Like I don't know anything about chemicals. I don't know anything about chemistry. I don't know anything about how they're doing it. But I can go in and talk to people. And the one guy I was talking to yesterday, I got into a 25-minute conversation with him. His grandson's a wrestler now. Awesome. Talked about wrestling. Another guy that I met grew up in Mamaroneck, where I was a police officer. Lived right where we live now, but now lives upstate. It's just I just can talk to anyone, and that's not a bad thing.
No, and a lot of people that's what they want. They just want a little bit of a conversation. They just like move on.
But some people don't.
Yeah.
Like Shannon doesn't understand if we're out somewhere, like sitting at a bar or waiting somewhere, and there's someone beside me. I cannot not say hello to the person. And she's like, "Why do you have to talk to him?"
Yeah, I know.
Well, why not?
Yeah.
If he doesn't say hello back, all right, I'm not
Yeah.
talking to him. But she's like, "Do you have to talk to everyone?" I'm like, "It's
Yeah.
more awkward standing right or sitting right next to someone and not saying hello or talking to them."
Whenever we go on vacation, my kids, when they were younger, they made fun of me, but now they think it's cool. Like I would just kind of talk to everybody, and like the bartenders would love me, like not just because I was drinking and having fun, because I was talking to them.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, Dad, you're gonna bring your buddy back? You know, like you're gonna hang out with your buddy? Like it's Pierre, the guy from the bar." I was like, I was hanging out, talking to the guy. I want to know about where he lives. I want to know about why he likes soccer instead of football. And like you say it all, like we say it all the time, and you're the same like me. Like I'll ask somebody a question that might sound crazy, but I'm never asking a malicious question. I'm only asking because I want to know the answer.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you do this? I'm not saying this to you because I think it's silly. I just really want to know, why are you doing this? Or why don't you have any shoes on, dude? It's like, it's like, what do you mean?
Because he's grounding.
Exactly. You could tell me that.
Why are you standing in your front yard with your pajamas up above your knees, breathing weirdly?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man.
You got to try it. I'm telling you right now. Not the grounding because it's cold as a.
All right.
But they do have grounding mats. And my buddy's kids got them one for Christmas.
I'll do the grounding outside.
That you put right now?
Well, I'd go stand outside my bare feet outside right now.
And get the Wim Hof and do the breathing.
I might go out there naked. I might wait for you to leave, but
no maybes. You will wait till I leave. There was just a question where I was parking my car about the front and back.
Yeah, exactly.
Compartmentalize that in the right spot, Rich.
That's compartmentalized in the right spot. Believe me, it's compartmentalized. Not to say wrong, but that's not how my brain works.
No, we're friends.
That's not how my brain works.
But also, before we get done with this, because I don't want to go too long.
Yeah, I hear you.
But my previous job, also, when I started that, dude, I was not myself. Even my wife. That's why I had to leave. I was up I don't know how you do it. You do it all the time. I was up at 4.
Yeah.
Every morning, down there working, get home around probably 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We'd eat dinner, and I'd be dead tired sleeping by 8, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And shit, this is not a life. You don't. And I was up, back. Now you did that for many years. I don't know how you did that.
Hence why I went a little crazy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean,
I had no life, dude. I worked, went home, ate, went to sleep. Got up, worked, went home, went to sleep.
Yeah. Now, again, in the same breath of what you were saying, I can't say, but like I got a part-time job in customer service. Just because I might want to do something when I'm done with the iron work. Because I'm an iron worker. I'm an iron worker. I get called, go to work. I'm going to work. Right. That's what I do. But I kind of got a customer service job, where I get to talk to people. You know what I mean? Like, I part-time, I love it. You know why I love it, Josh? And I was saying this to my wife yesterday. Come home. I'm just like, I like being nice to people. I don't know if that sounds weird, but my line of work, it's just go.
Yeah.
And, what are you, crazy? Fuck you, blah, blah, blah. We're breaking each other's chops, yelling and screaming. Don't talk, but it's, it's also great. It's fun. It's like a high atmosphere where that's fun, that aspect. But this is completely different. I just I like being nice to people. I like to be like, "Hello, how are you? Nice to see you." It's like, "Oh, come right this way." It's like, I like it.
Yeah.
And it goes back to why I'm feeling a little better in my head, because I'm doing something out of my box. And I suggest that.
You brought that up a long time ago, and you never got back to out of your box.
Yeah. See? Right back to it.
But my previous, I was like that. It was a job that I hated getting up and going to. But what I loved is I'd have people come over that were coming in just to talk to me, just to
Yeah.
say hello. I had guys saying, You made a difference."
Yeah.
Like people coming in and they're upset, but you smile and just saying hello.
Yep.
You have a very good demeanor, and I thank you very much.
Yeah.
But it was great to know that when people look forward to seeing you, and
Absolutely.
as a cop, no one looked forward to seeing me.
Yeah, that's unfortunate too, because that we could go back and talk about that for hours, but go back to the 40s or something. The local beat cop, they could
Yeah.
kick your ass and bring you home to your father.
Yeah.
Now they could barely look cross-eyed.
Yeah.
They're pressing charges on them. But it's just it's really, and I definitely equate like doing something completely out of my box to what I have as far as the ADHD and having to focus. It's like now I'm doing something that I'm not used to doing. I could be good at this
Yeah.
because this is I like doing this. It's like it's different.
But it's kind of up your alley also because you like talking.
I love it. It's
And the other thing is,
love it.
you're out of the elements.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry guys, for my line work, his friends get the chance.
He
to listen to
did it
this,
long
but-
enough, but you're not in the cold, you're not in the rain, you're
Yeah.
not in the wind, you're not in the.
And you know what's in a weird way, you bring up another good point of like the way I think. It's for all those years, right? And again, not to say that I'm not proud, because I'm super duper proud of the hard work that me and my friends and my local union brothers. I'm proud of what we do, because my wife would say to me, and you would say to me sometimes, like, how do you do that? And my first thing, and I wouldn't even second guess it, because there's 30 fucking guys out there that do the same exact thing as I am. It's like, so for me to bitch, it's like there's 30 guys out there on the 70th floor, and it's like 0 degrees up there, and they all got Carhartts on. You know what we do? We just make fun of each other all day.
Right.
That's how we get through our day. So how you do that? That's how you do it. It's like you
Right.
just know. It's like
But it's also, that's what you know also.
right. And but the point I'm making is now I'm a little later on in my life, in my 50s. It's like I'm proud to kind of say, like, now it's like I kind of want to get out of the elements now. It's like where it was like it's like put me up there, because between me and you, it's like if anybody knows how I work, like I can't be the guy that goes there and just kind of like, all right, what am I going to do? Give me the hardest thing to do, and that's I don't care if you're 25. Give me the hardest thing to do, and that's what I'm going to do. You want to follow me? You could follow me. That's just how I always am at work, and that's something I can't change about me. Because even now, when I go into this atmosphere, I can't change that about me.
We've spoken about it.
Yeah.
About how what you're doing now isn't as go.
Yeah.
There's a lot of downtime. There's
Yes.
a lot of standing around.
Yeah.
Do something here and there. But you can do stuff while you're there.
I do.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like there's people that don't.
But
There's people that are just you're doing. I can't say. I don't know if anyone knows what I did.
Yeah.
But some people just do the bare minimum, and that's stand there. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I would go crazy.
Right.
Walking around, saying hello, talking to people, talking to other people. I did my job, but I try to do more.
Right. And at the end, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Than the bare minimum, because not that I want to be like, oh, you did more. I just can't do that.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah. And that's a great lesson in life, because I tell my kids that all the time. Like I tell Aiden that all the time. Like Aiden will apply for a job or try to do something. Oh, there's so many people, but everybody's doing the same thing. But who's the kids do? The person that does extra, a little extra to stick out. Like that guy's not supposed to be doing that, but it has to be done.
Yeah.
So that's great. You know what I mean?
You know how many people don't?
So many people.
Like one part of my job was I was a greeter. Hey, how you doing? Yep, nope, can't go here, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
But if there was a piece of paper on the ground, I would pick it up. Because guys, when they walk in, they're going to see it.
Yeah.
You know how many people wouldn't do my same job?
Sure.
Well, that's not my job. No, it's not your job, but guess what? You saw it, just pick it up.
I know. It's not that
Or
hard.
a chair is this way, or you could ask the people I worked with, John and everyone down there,
Okay.
that the match would always shift and buckle.
Okay. Who are these guys?
And
these guys you just work with?
I used to work with. They were in the front there.
Oh, okay.
Chantel and all them, Kevin.
Oh,
I
okay.
would all day long, because every time someone come in, they would shift and they would buckle.
Yeah.
It would bug me. So I'd
Yeah.
go over, move the chairs, jump and shift the mat back. They're like, you're doing it all day.
Yeah.
I couldn't let it go. I
Yeah.
couldn't stand there and see it.
And this opens up another, not a long conversation, but And I was just telling this to somebody today. Like these guys are talking at work. They could, they were talking at work or whatever. And they're saying that just taking days off and the boss and this, that, and the other thing, and just complaining. Like like they called in sick and they weren't really sick. It's just like kind of like a cycle, like what we're going through as a trade right now that we have to change. But I straight up with when I come to work, I'm there for 8 hours. I don't take time off. I come to work sick because I'm going on vacation in July and I'm going here. So I'm telling you, I'm taking my time. And if you tell me I can't take my time, because I'm giving you everything I have every day. And I try to tell this to some of these young guys that don't be that guy that's known as the guy that just takes, all you got to do is be prepared and show up. So you can walk into that office and be like, dude, it's like July 13th till whatever. It's like, I'm not going to be here. So you got to find somebody to do this. But I feel that, and as my constituents have also, I feel that we've earned the right, because we do this every day, for a boss not to say, and this is where my whole spiel on unions comes, well, oh, you take that week off, you're fired. Fuck you, I'm fired. I'm the best person on this job, and you're going to fire me because I'm taking a couple of days off. That's why unions are so important in this country.
Oh, yeah, because now, do you get vacation days?
No, I get it. We have a better deal, dude. Honestly, I like our deal better. We get a vacation check. So the way it works is I don't get, if I take a day off or if I'm not working, I don't get vacation time. Like I don't get 2 weeks paid vacation. So now, all right, let's equate it to something that what you're used to. Let's say you take 2 weeks paid vacation, and just you could sum that up in your head, whatever it was in the past or whatever. Okay. Every May 15th, Local 580 cuts a check it's called our vacation check. So it's part of our fund. So part of our contributions from the people when they hire a union iron worker is they pay our vacation fund. And that vacation fund equates to, right now it's up to almost $17 an hour. So through the year, every hour you work times 17, you get that in the check every May. We call it, iron worker Christmas.
Every hour you work?
Every hour we work. Just put it in layman's terms. If you work 1,000 hours that year, you get a $17,000 check.
I was going to say, that's not good.
No, it's a great deal, dude.
That's not bad. But you also need your time off.
But I do. That's the thing. That's the point I'm making to you, Josh. Is
so wait. Even if you take the days off, you still get that check.
Yeah, it's just accumulation of hours because you don't work for. Like I'm not working.
So if you take those 7 days off, those 7.
I see what you're trying to say. No, I'm not. No money's going into my fund. Like it's literally
you're not getting paid
I'm
for those
not
days.
There at all.
You're not getting paid for
not
those days.
Like I mean, people work out deals and stuff, and that's another thing. Like what I think has got through. Like I never think I'm owed anything either. Like there's people that think like, you should have paid me for that day off, or pay me. Like I was always brought in. I was brought in by my uncle, to be just like a stand-up guy, and he taught me how to be a good iron worker and a good good man in the business. And you're only worth when you're there. Like if someone makes a deal with you, but don't get mad at somebody and think you're slighted because they didn't pay you for a day off that you had, or if you left early. It's like I'm to a point in my life where it's like pay me for when I'm there, because when I'm not here, I'm going on vacation. Right. So that I think that holds a lot more weight.
I think you also have a different mindset because you get paid for your vacation. Right. Every job I've had, you earn your vacation for working the year before.
Okay.
So if you were out so many days or you didn't get as many days,
right,
because you accumulate your vacation days by working the previous year.
Okay.
So we didn't get a check. So
I got you.
To me, I'm like, we got 4 weeks, 5 weeks vacation.
Okay.
So that we would pick here and there.
And you were getting paid for that.
We got paid because
that's a good deal.
We earned it through working.
Of course, yeah.
We couldn't take any more than I think 7 days as pay.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't have to use all your vacation. Right. You had to use up to at least you couldn't have no more than 7 at the end of the year.
Josh, when there was like back in the day, a long time ago, like when stuff wasn't so expensive, like there were guys that would fulfill their 1,000 hours, right? Fulfill their pension credit by like April and just take the rest of the year off because they fulfilled their pension credit. I guess they have money. They had their money. Their 1,000 hours went into their vacation fund. So May comes, they're getting that check. So it's like they fulfilled everything. Let's say they walked in, they just kicked ass. It's crazy overtime. And they were done with those 1,000 hours by April. Just take off the rest of the year. You don't have to worry about it. Your benefits taken care of, everything.
Now you're talking work stuff that I have no idea. What do you mean What's 1,000 hours?
In order for me to get a pension credit, right?
Which means what?
A pension credit is it's for your hours worked, for your benefits.
For retirement?
Okay, now for retirement, right? So now the way my pension works, okay, I get a pension credit for every 1,000 hours I work. Okay, after a certain amount of years, that pension is vested. You know what it means to be vested, right?
Yes.
So because your benefits are protected.
Yes.
So the way it worked was my benefits right now where I am are completely vested because I've worked successive 1,000 hours, like 20 some odd years. So what's been going on since then is money's been going into my funds since then. So if I complete one pension credit, when I retire, one pension credit is worth $145 at this moment.
All right.
So if you do the math, you multiply $145, let's just say by 20 years, and that's your monthly pension.
Now, is it only 1,000 hours a year?
All you have to work to fulfill it is
What I'm
1,000.
saying, what if you work 4,000 hours? You still only get 1 point.
You only get 1 point.
So it's 1,000 hours a year.
I don't wanna
All right.
talk about that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's off subject.
Yeah. But all right. So that's what I was thinking. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, fuck, if you can
Well,
work
right.
8,000 hours, there's 8 points.
Josh, me and my partner, 1920, worked over 4,000 hours between the 2 years. Like we killed it, but we got one pension credit. But but we did no. Okay, say I do work 3,000 hours. My vacation check is going to be 3,000 hours times 17, and
So you got more.
and my annuity is going to be $18 times 4,000.
All right.
So and that's
So
all
it does
going into
benefit you.
fund.
Yes.
Big
Yes.
time. Yes.
Which, yes. All right.
I mean, it's not going to benefit. I mean, I could just say I fulfilled my credit, and like some guys do it because they have some money to go on vacation, or they can do it because they fulfilled it. But you have to work hard. Like the whole goal is to make as much money as you can, and that's the ride that I've been on for the last 25 years. Chase overtime. You want to work late? Absolutely. What time we work until? Got to be in at 4. I'll be there at 3:30.
But that has nothing to do with your pension.
Yes, it does. Oh no, it does. No, it doesn't. You're right. The 1,000 hours.
See, that's
is
the
my
difference
pension.
between your union and my union.
Right. Like I can't work 4,000 hours and get 4 credits.
Right. Well, my pension is based off of hours.
Okay.
And not even hours, pay.
Gotcha.
So that's different. Yours is the points.
Yeah.
Which means years. Like I could retire until 20 years.
Right.
But my pension had nothing to do with the 20 years. It had to do with 3 best years.
Right. Okay.
Yours is based upon how many, but the more hours you work helps with your retirement, not pension wise, but annuity and everything else.
And also, you want to, what they say, the number is, which is what I'm achieving. I want to get to 25 years. If you get 25 credits, their benefits are locked in even when you retire until the day you die. You have Empire, Blue Cross, Blue Shield till the day you die.
Right. Which is huge.
That's huge.
And that's one thing I'm trying to get it instilled into my kids. Don't look at just, and actually Maddie's roommate came over the other day and he's doing a shadowing at a school around here. And he goes, Josh, Matt and I are going to be millionaires. I was like, okay, how? I was just coming out of my office at the house. I'm like, all right, how? He's a great kid, funny kid, but I never know when he's serious.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, how? He's like, well, I was just working, and one of the teachers came in and he was telling me about, he called it something else, but it was what we call deferred comp.
Okay.
Where you'd take money out of your check before taxes and invest it and all that. He goes, and he was telling me all this, and you become a millionaire. I said, oh, I know. I said, because they said the same thing to me in the NYPD about investing and taking money out. Yeah. I said, it's all good until you realize you need to pay here, you need to pay there. I said, it took me a little bit to be able to do that because when I started the NYPD, it was $32,000. Okay. I had 2 kids. I couldn't take shit out of my check.
Yeah.
I needed every single penny, not even dollar, every penny. Yeah. There are times where, which I now see with people go up to get gas, I couldn't fill my tank up, could only put $20 in.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just said it the first time.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I was doing so good,
yeah.
But I see that now.
Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, we're going to be millionaires and all that. I said, that's great. I said, yes, invest. I said, what you guys need to do is don't look at how much money you're making. I need this much. You need to know how much you need to pay bills. I said, but what you need to do is every time you get a raise, put some of that away because you never got that money. So you're not missing it.
Right. Right.
You can't miss whatever you don't have. So
exactly.
When you get a raise, throw that into a deferred comp, an annuity or something, just to, because you're going to need that when you retire. Too many people want all the money now.
Yeah.
But if you don't have something at the end and be able to fall back on,
Well, yeah.
you're
And that's why, like, think about looking at my funds, like why the union just takes, it takes care of you through the years. It's like, because you don't even think about that stuff until like a certain, like when you get older, like, how much I got in that fund there? It's like,
yeah.
like 100,000. Like, what are you talking about? And also what's in way my benefits work is like when I go to the doctor, for instance, Richard Murphy is not on the card. Local 580 is on the card because we have a fund. So in other words, like I said, part of the package when they hire me is a certain, I think it's pretty high right now, but like, let's say same as my vacation, my annuity, they pay, let's just say $12 an hour. And that $12 an hour goes into a group fund where there's like $1 billion. So in other words, that fund just keeps getting bigger and bigger because we pay for the retirees, we pay for hours. So we put, it's like a pool of money that pays for our medical benefits.
Now, could that ever be pilfered?
No,
I've heard of union bosses and that taking money.
Right. That's run through Empire. That's a group plan
So,
through Empire.
all right. So it's not all right. So that's
Right.
through Empire. It's not like the union has that
No.
in their coffers.
Like if you look and
for you.
like when you look for like it's either individual or group. Like we're part of the group plan where there's like thousands and thousands of members who pay money into a group, and Empire takes care of that.
All right, all right.
So Empire, because
as soon as you said that, because I remember hearing about union bosses raiding the coffers, and
the dental, on the other hand, was just changed. The dental used to be like that. The dental used to be where there was a fund and you get $2,500, a year. So what happened was you'd go to the dentist and then you'd be reimbursed out of this fund.
You
from
pay
580.
and they give you.
But they changed that now because like a lot of people take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So and they wear it more watch now. But I like the way you walk in. It's like the money's there because it's run through Empire. Empire's not going to let it's money in there. And it's like it's good for Empire. That's how most of the union plans work. Like that.
Yeah,
so.
we have Empire Blue Cross, which is what my medical is.
Yeah, it's good.
But next time we'll have to get into that because the whole New York City thing, and
we'll get into that next time.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, we got to talk. We got to talk about. We listen. We caught up tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna end it here.
I think we are gonna cut it.
But just to did you see the amount of customers or insurance customers that out in California they dropped last year?
2.8 million, 591,000 homes.
No, what I'm saying though is instead of raising prices, whatever, they just dropped. People.
2.8 million people. 591,000 homes were just dropped.
Yeah.
And they're trying to say that I was reading about this today because I'm all over these fires. And my buddy lives in Santa Monica, bro.
Oh,
my buddy
right.
Eddie.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He lives out there, but he said it's too much concrete. He's a lawyer out there, man. But it's crazy. Listen, we could talk about this another time because this is going to be an hour, 2-hour conversation because there's something going on there, bro. Something is going on there. And what's up with the mayor? What do you call it? With the contract? Didn't renew the contract? Cut the budget of the fire department by $18 million. The chief said, listen, you know what's going to happen. You know what season's coming up. It's like, this is going to hurt you guys. And she just didn't even care. Cut the whole budget.
There's no water in the fire hydrants.
Nope.
The water was,
This is bad.
Newsom let the one dam go. Because
well, listen, Shootin the Breeze is going to come to an end right now because all that stuff that we're talking about right now is going to be very soon. Next time Josh gets a chance to come hang with me, we're going to definitely do this again. Josh, we back?
We're back.
All right, brother. We'll be back very soon, guys. I hope you enjoyed Shootin the Breeze and
Peace.
Peace.